Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with the simple truth. Not everything needs to be announced, posted, or broadcasted. In a world where everyone wants to be seen, the real power often lies in being unseen. Working hard in silence is not about hiding your greatness. It's about building it brick by brick until the results speak so loud, nobody can ignore you. Every great dream starts in the privacy of your heart. That vision that keeps you awake at night, that idea that burns inside you, that whisper telling you there is more to your life than what people see right now, it is sacred. And because it is sacred, you cannot allow it to be handled carelessly. Silence is not about being weak or timid. Silence is about protecting what is valuable until it is strong enough to stand on its own. Think about a seed planted deep in the soil. Nobody sees it, nobody claps for it, nobody posts about it. But under the soil, in silence, roots are spreading, foundations are being laid, and life is being prepared. If you dig it up too early just to show people what you planted, you'll kill it before it has a chance to grow. That's how vision works. Silence protects it. When you tell everybody your plans too soon, you open the door for criticism, doubt, and even jealousy. The truth is, not everyone around you wants to see you win. Some people are secretly threatened by your ambition. Some people will smile to your face but quietly hope you fall. The more you talk about your dream before it's ready, the more opportunities you give for negative voices to creep in. And let me tell you something, negative voices have a way of echoing louder than positive ones. One discouraging word can weigh heavier than 10 compliments. That's why silence is powerful. It keeps your focus unshaken. Consider the story of Joseph from the Bible. He had a dream of greatness, of leadership, of standing tall while others bowed before him. But when he shared that vision too early, even with his own brothers, it stirred jealousy, resentment, and betrayal. They couldn't handle his dream because it wasn't meant for them to carry, it was meant for him. And though Joseph eventually rose to power, his journey was filled with unnecessary pain because he revealed his dream before it had matured. Silence could have spared him from the weight of others' envy. And it's not just ancient stories that prove this truth. Think about modern innovators, artists, and leaders. Many of them didn't broadcast their struggles on social media or run around seeking approval at every step. They locked themselves in studios, laboratories, and offices, building quietly until their results spoke for them. J.K. Rowling, before Harry Potter became a worldwide phenomenon, wrote in cafes with her baby stroller beside her. She didn't shout to the world, "I'm writing the greatest fantasy series of all time." She simply wrote in silence, facing rejection after rejection, until her work became undeniable. Had she spent her time convincing people of her potential instead of working on it, the story we know today might never have existed. Silence also protects your vision from premature judgment. When you share an unfinished idea, people judge it as if it were the final product. They don't see the potential, they only see the flaws. Imagine showing someone a half-built house and asking for their opinion. They'd probably say it's ugly, incomplete, and not worth living in. But give the builder time to finish the walls, add the paint, install the windows, and suddenly that same house becomes a masterpiece. The difference wasn't the foundation. It was the silence that allowed the builder to work without interruption. Silence is also about discipline. It forces you to stop seeking validation and focus on execution. Too often we become addicted to the applause of others, using it as fuel for our motivation. But applause fades quickly, and when it's gone, so is the drive. That's why working in silence is so important. It shifts your motivation from external approval to internal commitment. You're no longer working because people are watching, you're working because you believe in the vision itself. That's a stronger foundation, one that won't crumble when critics show up or when the applause turns to silence. Your vision is like a fire. At the beginning, it's just a spark, delicate, fragile, and easy to extinguish. The wrong word, the wrong influence, the wrong crowd can snuff it out before it has a chance to burn. But when you cover that fire with discipline and silence, it grows stronger. It becomes a flame, then a blaze, and eventually a wildfire that cannot be hidden. By the time people see it, it's too powerful to put out. That's why silence is not hiding. It's protecting, nurturing, and strengthening. We live in a generation that confuses noise with progress. People think that because they're posting about their grind, because they're talking about their goals, because they're announcing their every move, they are actually moving forward. But the truth is, noise doesn't equal growth. Attention doesn't equal achievement. You can spend all your energy talking about what you're going to do and have nothing left when it's time to actually do it. Noise wastes energy, but real work demands focus. Think about your phone battery. Every time you open an app, every time you play a video, every time you run something in the background, the charge drains faster. If you're not careful, you'll reach the moment you need that battery most, and it's dead. The same thing happens when you waste your energy on noise. You brag, you argue, you defend yourself, you post every move online, and by the time it's time to show results, you're drained. But when you turn off the unnecessary apps, silence the notifications, and preserve the power, the battery lasts longer. That's what focus does. It gives you energy for what really matters. Look at athletes, the great ones. Kobe Bryant didn't earn his legacy by being loud about his work ethic. He didn't need to post his early morning training sessions to prove he was putting in the effort. He showed up at the gym at 4 a.m., long before most of his teammates were awake, and he kept going until his craft was sharpened to perfection. The cameras weren't there. The audience wasn't clapping. It was just him, the ball, and the basket. That's focus. And the reason his name still echoes today is because he chose to invest his energy into the work, not into the noise surrounding the work. Now compare that to people who are constantly seeking validation. They spend hours curating their lives for social media, telling the world how hard they're working. They want likes, shares, applause, and recognition before they've built anything substantial. It feels good in the moment, but it doesn't build anything lasting. It's like watering the leaves of a tree while ignoring the roots. It may look fresh for a moment, but it won't last because the foundation is being neglected. Focus, on the other hand, is the ability to channel all your strength, all your discipline, all your time into the thing that matters most. It's not scattered energy, it's targeted energy, and targeted energy produces results. Have you ever seen how a magnifying glass can take the light of the sun, something that normally warms but doesn't burn, and focus it onto a single point until it creates fire? That's the power of focus. The same light, when scattered, is harmless, but when concentrated, it's unstoppable. Your life works the same way. Scattered energy is harmless. Focused energy creates breakthroughs. And here's the truth, focus is not easy, because while you're working in silence, others are making noise. They're flaunting, they're showing off, they're chasing validation. And if you're not careful, you'll get caught in their trap. You'll start to think you're behind because you're not being seen. But the ones who win are not the ones who make the most noise. They're the ones who remain disciplined when no one's watching. Remember, there's a difference between being seen and being successful. Noise may get you attention today, but focus will get you results that last for a lifetime. Noise also distracts you from excellence. Excellence requires repetition, it requires patience. It requires long hours of boring, unglamorous practice. Noise makes you restless. It pulls your attention in 100 different directions. But focus allows you to fall in love with the process, to give yourself fully to the discipline, and to perfect the details that nobody else notices. And those details, the ones you refine in silence, are the very things that separate greatness from mediocrity. There's a reason why some of the greatest scientists, writers, and leaders were known for their ability to disappear from the noise and enter a season of deep focus. Isaac Newton discovered gravity during a period of isolation when the world was chaotic. Writers like Maya Angelou would check themselves into hotel rooms with nothing but a notebook, away from distractions so they could fully concentrate. They understood something powerful, that to create something meaningful, you must guard your focus like treasure, because noise is always trying to steal it. So when you feel tempted to prove yourself through noise, remember this: every ounce of energy you spend explaining, bragging, or defending is energy taken away from the real work. And the real work is what will outlast the noise. Noise is temporary, it fades as quickly as it came. But focus produces results, and results echo long after the noise is gone. One of the most important lessons life will ever teach you is that talk is cheap. You can promise, you can announce, you can post, you can say it 1,000 times. But if there are no results, your words are just noise floating in the air. Words may get attention for a moment, but results command respect forever. Results are undeniable. They silence critics, they shut down doubt, they open doors that words alone could never open. That is why working in silence matters, because when the results show up, they speak a language that cannot be argued against. When Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team, he could have made excuses. He could have told everyone how talented he really was, how unfair the coach had been, how one day he was going to make it. He could have announced his potential. But instead, he went back to the court day after day, putting in the work that nobody saw. The result of that silent grind wasn't just making the team later. It was becoming the greatest basketball player of all time. And notice this, people don't remember the story because of what Jordan said. They remember it because of what he did. His results told the story. His results silenced the doubt. That's the thing about results. They don't need defending. You never have to convince anyone when your life already shows evidence. If you say you're disciplined, but your work shows inconsistency, your words mean nothing. If you say you're successful, but your actions show laziness, nobody will believe you. But when the fruit is visible, when the evidence is undeniable, you don't have to announce it. It's obvious. Think about a tree. A fruit tree doesn't scream, "Look at me, I'm fruitful." It simply grows fruit, and everyone who walks by sees it. The fruit speaks for itself. That's how results operate in your life. Look at how businesses are built. A startup company can make big promises, flashy advertisements, and bold declarations about how they're going to change the world. But if the product doesn't deliver, the company fades into history. On the other hand, there are companies that stay quiet, steadily working behind the scenes, improving their product until it speaks for itself. Apple didn't need to announce to the world every struggle they went through while building the iPhone. They simply released a product that changed everything. The announcement wasn't the words, the announcement was the result. And because of that result, the world listened. Results also carry a weight that words never can. When someone doubts you, arguing with them won't change their mind, but results will. When Thomas Edison invented the light bulb after thousands of failed attempts, he didn't need to debate with people who thought it was impossible. He just lit the bulb and the room filled with light. No argument necessary. The result spoke for itself. But here's the challenge: results take time. They require patience, persistence, and resilience. And that's why many people settle for announcements. Announcements are easy. You can tell people you're going to start a business, that you're going to write a book, that you're going to transform your life. Talking gives an instant feeling of progress, but it's a counterfeit. Real progress isn't in what you say, it's in what you build. The danger of announcements is that they can trick you into thinking you've already accomplished something just because people clap when you said it. But applause for your words is empty if there is no evidence to follow it. This is why results are so powerful. They expose the truth. They show whether you've been consistent, whether you've been disciplined, whether you've sacrificed, whether you've endured. They are the proof that you've done more than just talk. And when you finally step into the light with your results, nobody can deny it. Critics may still try, but their words won't matter because results outweigh opinions. And let's be real, people respect results. In the workplace, it's not the one who talks the loudest in meetings who gets promoted. It's the one whose work consistently delivers excellence. In school, it's not the student who boasts about studying all night. It's the one whose grades show it. In life, it's not the one who tells everyone how successful they're going to be. It's the one whose life demonstrates success without needing to say a word. So while the world is chasing likes, chasing attention, chasing applause for empty announcements, you stay focused on the work. Because when the results show up, they'll speak louder than anything you could have said. And the beauty of it is this: results speak to everyone. They don't need translation. They don't need explanation. They don't even need your presence in the room. Results carry your name. When you're not there, results create opportunities you didn't ask for, and results make the noise you never had to. When you strip away the noise, when you turn off the distractions, when you stop performing for the applause of others, something powerful begins to happen inside of you. Silence becomes more than an absence of sound. It becomes a training ground. It becomes the place where inner strength is forged. Working in silence is not just about avoiding criticism or protecting your vision. It's about discovering who you truly are when there's nobody to impress, nobody to clap, and nobody to validate you. That is where your real strength is built. We live in a culture that measures strength by how loud you are, how visible you are, how many people are watching you. But the strongest people are not the ones screaming their power. They are the ones who carry quiet confidence because they know what they've endured in silence. A tree's strength doesn't come from the branches you can see. It comes from the roots you cannot see. The deeper the roots go underground, the stronger the tree can stand when storms come. That's what silence does for you. It drives your roots deeper. Think about the athlete training alone in the gym long after everyone else has left. There's no cheering crowd, no spotlight, no cameras rolling. Just repetition after repetition, sweat dripping, muscles burning, and the voice inside saying one more. In that silence, character is formed, discipline is born, endurance is stretched. When the game comes, when the crowd finally does show up, what people see on the court is only the surface. The real victory was won in the silent hours nobody applauded. Let's take a real life example. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time, once said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." Notice he didn't say he hated fighting in the spotlight. He said he hated the training, the silent, lonely grind that nobody wanted to see. But it was in those moments of silence that his inner strength was built, strength that allowed him to stand in the ring and become a legend. Silence also forces you to face yourself. When you are not distracted by noise, when you are not seeking constant validation, you have to confront your own weaknesses, your own fears, your own insecurities. And while that can be uncomfortable, it is necessary, because inner strength is not built by ignoring your weaknesses. It is built by acknowledging them, working through them, and transforming them into resilience. Many people run from silence because silence reveals the truth. But those who embrace it come out stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Silence teaches patience. In a noisy world, we are trained to want everything instantly. Instant success, instant recognition, instant rewards. But true growth doesn't happen overnight. Just like a diamond takes years of pressure to form, and just like muscles grow only through consistent training, inner strength is developed over time, not in a moment. Silence slows you down, forces you to endure, and teaches you that waiting is not wasting. It shows you that the process is just as important as the outcome. And here's another truth. Strength built in silence cannot be easily shaken. If your confidence is built only on applause, it will crumble the moment people stop clapping. If your motivation is built only on recognition, it will die the moment nobody notices. But if your strength is built in silence, it becomes unbreakable because it doesn't depend on anyone else. You've already proven to yourself in the dark that you can endure, that you can keep going, that you can survive without the spotlight. That's the kind of strength that lasts. Think about the story of David before he became king. Everyone remembers him for defeating Goliath, but very few talk about the silent years he spent tending sheep in the fields. Alone, away from crowds, away from recognition, he learned to fight lions and bears. Those silent victories prepared him for the public victory. Without the strength he built in silence, he would have never had the courage to face Goliath. The public moment was impressive, but the silent preparation is what made it possible. This is why silence is so important to your growth. It is not empty. It is where the real work is done. It is where you build resilience, patience, and confidence that cannot be shaken by outside opinions. It's where you discover that strength is not in being seen, but in being unshaken, even when nobody sees you. And when the moment comes to step into the light, that inner strength carries you further than noise ever could. One of the harshest but most liberating truths about life is this: the world does not celebrate effort without results. The world doesn't pay for intentions, it doesn't reward explanations, and it doesn't remember excuses. What the world values, what it recognizes, and what it respects is the finished product. It's not enough to say you worked hard, it's not enough to say you almost made it, and it's not enough to list all the reasons why you couldn't get it done. At the end of the day, what speaks loudest is not your story of struggle, it's the evidence of completion. Think about a restaurant. Imagine you order a meal and the chef comes out halfway through and says, "We really tried, but we couldn't finish your dish. The ingredients were expensive, the oven broke, the kitchen was hot." Would you clap for the effort? No. You'd still be hungry because excuses don't satisfy. What you want is the finished meal, the plate on the table, something you can taste. That's how the world operates. People are not nourished by what you intended to do. They are nourished by what you deliver. History is filled with examples of those who understood this principle. Take Apple, for instance. When Steve Jobs and his team were working on the first iPhone, they didn't hold press conferences every time they hit a roadblock. They didn't release a half-functioning prototype and ask the world to be patient while they figured it out. They worked in silence behind closed doors through countless challenges. And when they finally unveiled the iPhone, it wasn't an excuse. It was a finished product that revolutionized technology. That's why people lined up outside Apple stores. They weren't lining up for the effort, they were lining up for the result. Excuses, no matter how justified they sound, will never carry the same weight as results. Imagine a student who tells the teacher, "I studied all night, but I didn't finish the assignment because my internet was slow and my printer broke." The teacher may nod, may even sympathize, but the grade is not given for excuses. The grade is given for submission. It doesn't matter how close you came. It doesn't matter how many obstacles you faced. What matters is, did you finish? Because the finished product is what speaks. This is not meant to dismiss the struggle. Struggles are real. Obstacles are real. Life throws challenges at every dreamer. But here's the difference. See, some let the struggle stop them, while others let the struggle shape them. The ones who finish are the ones who turn obstacles into stepping stones instead of excuses. When you hand the world a finished product, nobody asks you about the nights you cried, the times you almost gave up, the resources you didn't have. They just see the result. And that result tells the whole story without words. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times while working on the light bulb. If he had quit after his first 100 failures, he could have given the world every excuse in the book. Lack of funding, lack of support, the complexity of the project. But excuses don't light a room, results do. And because he kept working until the bulb shone, history remembers the invention, not the failures. The world doesn't talk about how difficult it was. They talk about how revolutionary it became. Think about your own life. How many times have you explained why you haven't started, why you haven't finished, why the timing isn't right? Every excuse feels valid, but at the end of the day, they don't build anything. People don't invest in your explanations, they invest in your execution. Employers promote based on results. Clients pay for delivery. Audiences are inspired by outcomes. Excuses may buy you sympathy, but results buy you respect. And here's the beauty of results: once they're in your hands, they erase the excuses. Nobody cares how long it took to cross the finish line. They only celebrate that you crossed it. Nobody cares how many rejections you faced before your book was published. They only see the bestseller on the shelf. Nobody asks how many prototypes failed. They just hold the phone that works in their hand. The result swallows the struggle, and the finished product speaks louder than the excuses ever could. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn is this: not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Too many dreams are killed because people waste their energy trying to explain themselves to those who are not meant to get it. Your vision was given to you, not to them. Your assignment was placed on your shoulders, not theirs. And because of that, not everyone will see what you see. Not everyone will believe what you believe. And not everyone will support what you're chasing. But here's the key: you don't need them to understand. Think about it. When an architect draws blueprints for a building, if you hand those blueprints to someone who's never studied architecture, they'll look like confusing lines on a page. They won't make sense. But to the architect, those lines are a masterpiece in progress. The builder doesn't waste time explaining every line to every passerby. He just keeps building. And when the building stands tall, the same people who doubted or laughed at the sketch suddenly understand. That's how your journey works. Right now, it may look confusing to outsiders, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's not for them. Throughout history, many of the greatest minds were misunderstood in their time. Galileo was called a heretic because he dared to believe the earth revolved around the sun. People mocked the Wright brothers when they dreamed of flying. Even Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination after being fired from a newspaper job. Imagine if they had let misunderstandings stop them. Imagine if they had waited until everyone got it before moving forward. We wouldn't have planes in the sky or Disneyland in the world. They pressed forward because they understood that their journey wasn't meant for everyone's approval. And this is where many people fall short. They get discouraged because their family doesn't support their dream, because their friends don't understand their grind, because society doesn't applaud their vision. But let me remind you, sometimes the people closest to you are the ones least able to see what's inside of you. Not because they don't love you, but because they can only see you through the lens of who you've been, not who you're becoming. They remember the old you, the one who made mistakes, the one who struggled, the one still learning. They can't yet imagine the future version of you that you already see so clearly, and that's why their misunderstanding should never determine your movement. Even in the Bible, Joseph's story teaches this lesson. He shared his dream with his brothers, that one day he would rise, that his life would carry a greater purpose. Instead of encouraging him, they hated him for it, mocked him, and even betrayed him. His vision wasn't meant for them to celebrate, it was meant for him to carry. And though they couldn't understand, his dream still came to pass. Sometimes the very people who laugh at your journey will one day witness the fulfillment of it. Here's the truth. If everyone understood your journey, it wouldn't be your journey. It would just be the common path. The fact that people don't understand is proof that your calling is unique. It's supposed to set you apart. It's supposed to make you stand out. And yes, sometimes that feels lonely. Sometimes it feels like walking a road nobody else is on. But the isolation is part of the process. Because in that silence, in that misunderstanding, you learn to depend less on people's approval and more on your own conviction. That's where inner strength is born. And let's be clear, not everyone's misunderstanding comes from hate. Some people simply can't see it because they've never walked where you're going. If you tell someone who's never seen the ocean that you're building a boat, they'll look at you like you're crazy. If you tell someone who's never flown that you're building wings, they'll think you've lost your mind. Their lack of understanding doesn't make your vision invalid. It just makes it yours to protect. So stop wasting your breath trying to convince people who are not meant to see what you see. Stop trying to prove yourself to those who have no role in your destiny. Stop shrinking your dream just because someone else can't comprehend it. Your journey isn't for everyone, and that's the beauty of it. It was tailor-made for you. In a world where everybody wants to be heard, the greatest voice you will ever have is not your words, it's your results. Let success be the noise. Let your victories do the talking. Let your growth, your progress, your accomplishments speak so loud that they echo far beyond anything you could have announced yourself. Success has a sound, and it is a sound that cannot be ignored. The truth is, words can be argued, but results cannot. You can debate someone's opinion, you can dismiss their promises, you can doubt their predictions. But when success shows up, it silences every critic. When you've put in the work and your results stand in front of the world, there is nothing left to say. The noise you once felt pressured to make is replaced by the undeniable presence of success. Take Serena Williams as an example. Early in her career, many doubted her, dismissed her, and even criticized her style of play. She didn't spend her time arguing back. She didn't waste energy convincing people that she belonged on the court. She let her game speak. Each championship, each trophy, each record became her reply. Today, nobody debates whether she belongs. Her success made the noise. And that's the power of results. They carry authority where words cannot. Think about the life of an author. Someone may spend years writing in silence, rejected by publishers, doubted by friends who think it's a waste of time. They could defend themselves, explain why their book is important, argue with people who don't believe. But when the manuscript finally becomes a bestseller, the success speaks. The same people who once doubted will quote the author, buy the book, and recommend it to others. The shift didn't come because of explanations. It came because success made the announcement. Success also has the unique power to open doors you could never force open on your own. When you brag or argue, you're trying to push your way into rooms where people may not believe you belong. But when success becomes your noise, those doors open on their own. Excellence makes people call your name even when you're not present. Opportunities find you because results create a reputation that travels farther than words ever could. You don't have to scream to be heard when success has already done the shouting for you. And here's something important. Success doesn't always mean fame or riches. Sometimes success is simply proof of growth, consistency, and transformation. If you've been battling to overcome an addiction, your success is in the sobriety you maintain, not in the words you post about trying. If you've been struggling in school, your success is in the degree you earn, not the promises you made about studying harder. If you've been dreaming of building a business, Your success is in the clients you serve and the results you deliver, not in the announcements of what you're going to do one day. Success, no matter how small, makes a sound that cannot be denied. Letting success be your noise also protects your energy. When you stop wasting time proving yourself, when you stop trying to convince doubters, you free up more energy to actually build. And as you build, you stack result after result, victory after victory, until your life itself becomes the loudest statement you could ever make. Imagine a musician who spends years practicing in private. The first time they step on stage and play flawlessly, the music speaks for them. They don't need to explain the hours of practice. The song says it all. And the most powerful part, success doesn't just silence critics, it inspires believers. Your success will give hope to people who are watching quietly, people you don't even know, people who are struggling to keep pushing. When they see your success, it gives them permission to believe theirs is possible too. That's why your noise shouldn't come from your mouth, but from your life. Because a life that demonstrates success doesn't just make sound, it creates impact. So I challenge you, don't waste your energy proving yourself to people who are not invested in your future. Don't chase claps or likes. Don't let noise distract you. Grind in silence, build in silence, pray in silence, and let your results make the announcement. Because when success speaks, it speaks in a language everyone understands.